Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm Cipher, and this is the Devil's Advocate Debate Club. Welcome back. Today's video is, as it says in the title, about nothing. Now, really what this video is about, I suppose, is me. This one's going to get just a little bit personal. Some of them happened recently. And I'm facing, well, I suppose a dilemma in my life. I've mostly made up my mind on this one, but it's been an emotional roller coaster of a day, so I think I'm going to share just a little bit of it with you. It's been just one crazy ride with possibly hell's finest carnival. I am, you see, a traveling carny. Those who follow me closely on Twitter might already be aware. I may have mentioned it in a prior video as well. And I have come to just absolutely hate some of the areas that we have to travel in and certain aspects of the job. I love other aspects of it, but well, both the pay and the traveling situation is not necessarily stable. And, well, it leaves me with less time than I'd like and less of a schedule than I'd like to work on my channel for all of you. I'd basically made up my mind much earlier in the season that this would be my last year, but that I would finish it out. I've been trying to grow up, and every now and then finishing something that you start is an important part of that. Well, while I do have problems with a lot of my coworkers, and one in particular who has got me hurt and even injured, I would say, on several occasions, to the point that I just refuse to work on projects with them, there is one coworker in particular who over the season has earned more and more of my respect. We'll just call him the old man. In fact, I do plenty of the time anyway. Now, while I know the old man is sometimes a reference or euphemism to one's father, and while me and my dad, he doesn't want to be talked about in my videos, but we've had somewhat of a sordid past in my childhood, and it wasn't until I hit my adult days that I finally grew enough to learn to respect him. But I do greatly now, and I have a lot to thank him for in becoming the person that I've been, despite the toxicity of my mother, which I've talked about openly on this channel in at least one video. So, it's not to take anything away from my dad when I say that Keith is, in many ways, I think, what it would have been like to meet my father had we not had the same sordid past. I mean, I get a lot of my sense of humor from my dad, and Keith has our sense of humor. He's, in many ways, a lot like my dad. In many ways, a lot different, but to the point that it feels at times almost like I'm getting a glimpse of what it would be like to, without the emotional baggage, have, well, a real second chance with my dad. And it's actually made my respect for him, which had already taken deep roots at that point, grow quite a bit more, even just in the couple of months that I spent with the carnival last year. And Keith is, well, it's a common enough name. No one watches this channel anyway, and I don't think that any of my coworkers do, nor do I think that the old man would mind being mentioned. Anyway, he's probably not going to be around too much longer, and next year is, he says, going to be his last year with Carnival. Now, he said that this year, but I have at least one reason to believe he might actually mean it next time. if nothing else, I don't know how many years he has left. I've grown to respect and care for the old man quite a lot. And, well, like I said, I have problems with some of my other coworkers. Even one who I feel tends to get people injured. So I worry about what it will be like for him next year without me here. And I have reasons to. He wants me to come back. I won't say what he said, but he's guilt-tripping me. He might even need me to come back. But I think that I need something more stable. I think that even when I work overtime, I don't make enough to make up for the times that we don't have work, and that working hard just means I work less hours and in the end get paid less. And I don't want a job that incentivizes me to not work hard. It's a psychological trap. It's all too easy for me to fall into, even if I've grown a lot stronger over the past couple of years. So I feel like I need to be firm, to hold my ground, and to never come back to this job again after I leave. But I don't like or respect that many people in this world, not truly. A few, here and there, and I've lost contact with many of them, and lost my respect for many of them. My manager, who's known the old man longer than any of us, they started at the same time together, I guess, years and years ago, is one of those people as well. But it's really hard for me to think about leaving the old man out here with these people without me to watch his back. They mean well. And he'd still have one fiery, crazy, and in some ways downright amazing coworker at his side to help, but she can only do so much. And has her own problems to worry about. So, what do you guys think I should do? I think I need a more stable job. Something which would allow me to spend more time on my channel. To start treating it with a little bit more of the respect it deserves if I'm going to do this as a long-term thing. And I need to start being a little bit more realistic in my life and maybe just get a standard, normal 9-to-5 office job or something along those lines to support myself in the meanwhile and to fall back on if the world ends up just hating me. But if I do actually manage to plan out my spending habits better than I did this year, I can make a fair bit of money working this job. And one of the few people that I like or respect in my entire lives, and one of the ones who's basically become like family, even when a lot of my family isn't. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Didn't mean to go on this long about this. I had meant for this video to be about nothing in particular and to just play around with several different topics. So, let's do that. What else shall we talk about? How are you guys? I'm excited to be at the end of my season. We're at our last big event, and this one's big enough that instead of running around playing in the games, I have to act all serious and supervise. I've got a game with rainbow-colored toys in it, rainbow-colored things in the game, and I'm going to put a rainbow light in it, so that thing's just going to be lit up and awesome. If my manager lets me, I've got disco ball Bluetooth speakers for all of my games that don't have their own speaker. That way I can get more people drawn in to play my games. Sometimes we get a little bit competitive about who plays which games, and normally I just have to worry about the one that I'm drawing people into and working. It'll be interesting to be worrying about 4 or more. But I did a little bit last year. And while there were definitely ups and downs, some say I was too friendly with the hired help. Need to be, sterner about them getting back from their breaks from stuff. Most of my people were back from their breaks on time, though, because, well, they liked me and I think respected me. And I got a lot of compliments from the hired help. Maybe I was too friendly. I probably will be again this year. Maybe it's just in my nature. Not that any of you who came here from Twitter probably think that about me. But what can one do? I doubt I'll do any more personal diary videos anytime in the future. I've got a few political ideas boiling that I'd like to get to. Oh, I'm not going to do a whole video on it, so I'll just say here that, well, I haven't seen the whole episode, and maybe context helps somehow. The bit that The Simpsons did with the squad chasing down Trump was musically bad. Some of the worst animation I've seen in the series. Didn't make its political points well, touched on at least one thing I would consider to be fake news, and worst of all, just wasn't funny. So please, even if you hate Trump, no matter what I don't know what you're thinking, Simpsons, just stop. And I think I know I talk about the scripting videos all the time, and there's a few that I've put off because I'm waiting to script them, but I do definitely want to do one. Hold me to it in the comments if you have to, or remind me. I'll try and remember, and it's on my mind all the time, so I think I'll actually remember this one once I have time to script a video. But I want to do one on newspeak, basically. If you guys don't know what the term newspeak is, it's in the book 1984, and it's basically a way of sanitizing language in order to control people's thoughts. And California's new law, getting rid of things like convict and replacing them with, person who's been involved in the justice system, which, as many people have pointed out, honestly makes one sound more like the victim. It's really all just part of the destruction of language, which is something I've touched on before. And I think it would be fun to do a little video almost in the frame of 1984, party member, and talk about the newspeak guides that we're currently putting out there, and newspeak guidelines. Also things that, while it may not be newspeak yet, if you see the potential for sanitizing language, you should do so, and then Newspeak will evolve from there, because we wouldn't want any microaggressions in the population. So, anyway, that's a video that I want to do when I have more time, and I've got a few videos that I'll probably do before that, just basic politics and stuff. I might do a couple of videos sharing just weird things I know about the world, because certain people have told me that I have a good storytelling voice. Not that I use my good storytelling voice in most of my videos, but hey. So yeah, I've been working hard, and for the next month I'll be locked into the biggest event of the season, so you probably won't see too much of me, though we do actually have scheduled days off, so who knows, you might hear from me on Tuesdays. However, once that's over, as the end of September and October hits, well, I have several ideas of what I'll be doing. I'll be job hunting. I have some work lined up, so I won't be dead in the water right away. But one of my big focuses will be on playing catch-up with this channel. Getting the video editing software I so desperately need. Getting my laptop up and running, so I'm not filming everything off of my damn phone. And finally, getting some of those scripted videos through once I'll have time for them. So, if you've made it to the end of this one, thanks for watching. As always, I'm your host, Cipher. And this has been the Devil's Advocate Debate Club. Have a good one.